Yeah, I'm going to just say something about how you can use gamification in attracting more people to cycle more often and to make more fun of it. So I do have some examples. Some of them I've been involved in myself. And well, let's see. This is one of them. It's a campaign which has been running in different cities in Denmark, and it's developed based on this GPS unit. This one is a yellow thing, which is tracking your movements when you go on a bike. So in this case, we developed a campaign for children, school children, and it was offered to all the schools in the city, so that each school class could have 2 GPS devices which they could use and share during the campaign. So every time you move this GPS, you track the amount of kilometers, and that is then when you plug it into your computer, it's uploading the data, and then you can compare one class to the other ones. This is constructed as a fairy tale based on the around the world from Jules Verne, and in this case we invented a guy called Dr. Blob, who's about to cycle around the world in this flying bike. So the campaign is, of course, lasting 80 days, and in this case we managed to have 19 school classes involved in the campaign, and they all together cycled a bit more than half the way around the world. So in this case they were building up a fairy tale, doing some education linked to the campaign. So each time they reached a city, Casablanca for instance, then they were sent an email with different information and different things to do linked to the education in the school. So this is something which school children are quite happy about, not only to cycle, but to do it linked to a campaign and a storytelling. We wanted to use the same units, the same GPS devices for a campaign for adult cyclists. In Denmark there's a team cycling to Paris each summer. They do it for charity, so businessmen are cycling from Denmark to Paris just before Tour de France. So this was about setting up some teamwork between people from workplaces so that they could get a better network, because you speak to each other when you're cycling. And then we wanted to link it up to the campaign, again using these GPS units. So each team leader should have the GPS and then give it on by turn each day in 40 days. And by that you could involve a maximum of 1,200 cyclists in the campaign. We managed to have the 3 most active teams cycling more than 10,000 kilometers, and these 64 people in the 3 most active teams actually cycled 169 kilometers each. And therefore it's a campaign which is being repeated annually. It's been running 2 times and it's going to run in the coming years as well. The thing is that we can reuse the hardware, we can use the software, and we can use the setup of the campaign. And by that we can involve more people from the business life into cycling and into this kind of game you set up. On the website people can follow where was the GPS unit, where has it been. It's tracking all these kilometers on the map, and you can see that each team here on a long line, you can see who's participating and how far are the other teams compared to you. So it's very much about competing to other teams, to other companies, and by that having people much more active than they would normally be. Another example about viral marketing is this campaign I developed. It was a safety campaign about having more adults, people using helmets. In Denmark, a lot of children are using helmets already, but we wanted to attract the adults and the parents to use the helmets as well. So we bought 1,700 helmets, and then we announced in the press that people could have it for free. They should go to the website to sign up, and just in 3 days they were fully booked. But we said that they had to go to the town hall, so all these people went to the town hall so we could find the right size for them, but also giving us the possibility of taking pictures of all the participants. This was very important because we wanted to have these pictures into a kind of a voting system where people could go to the website, looking at the campaign, looking at the people who were wearing these helmets, because quite often you could find somebody that you knew. So we managed to have more than 70,000 hits on the website where people were watching this project, but also we had 6,000 votes for the one who were supposed to be the smartest cyclist in the city. On this picture you see the woman, she had 343 votes because she sent it out via social media to find her friends to have them going into the website voting for her, and it's the same about many of them, and by that we had a lot of attention to this campaign. You see all the small stamps here are pictures of all the cyclists participated. There should be 1,700 pictures on this one. Another concept we developed in Denmark is called bike score. Bike score is about counting trips. The way we do it, we want to do it automatically, because we have, for many years, we have been counting trips manually, where people were supposed to count them themselves and report it on paper or on a website. In this case, we wanted to use electronic chips, which are given to the cyclist and are mounted in the spokes of the wheel. For that, you can automatically be registered for this checkpoint from a distance up to 10 meters. So the checkpoint will see who's the cyclist and where are you, and all this is logged into the system and goes into the website. Another technology which is used is an app for smartphones, so you can use both physical checkpoints but also virtual checkpoints which are based on GPS coordinates. The whole idea about this is, of course, to increase cycling by doing the registration very easy and putting it into a big gaming feature. So the tracking is, all in all, it's about monitoring the cyclist. If you don't count it, if you don't register, it doesn't mean so much to you. Then it's about exposing the results shown to the public, where you are, how good you perform, and so on. And then finally, it's about rewarding the cyclist, so that we could say that we do a lottery where people are rewarded on turn. It is so that every trip counts, so even that you only cycle one trip, you have the possibility of winning, but the more you cycle, the higher chances you're having. So all these trips are exposed at the website and on the mobile application, and the lotteries are running ongoing. So now, so far, this city has been running more than 100 times. So it's an all-year lottery. You never stop this campaign, so it goes all the time, summer, winter, and you are not supposed to leave the campaign. So as soon as you're registered for the campaign, you're part of the game, and you are exposed in these medias. You find the Danish website here, Cykelskolen, and you can see the website, how that is made. This is how it is. So there are 3 different entrances to this. One of them is for schools, another one is for companies, and then there's one for municipalities. So things can start in many different places. It's not only about what the municipality should do, but it could also be private businesses who want to go into this to make good campaigning for their staff. Then this has been transferred into a European project called Bike the Track, Track the Bike, and it's well, you see the logo here, you see the checkpoint here, and here is the chip. This is a small chip which you put on your bike on the spokes. For that project, we added 2 more functions that you could report the kilometers using kilometer counters, but you had to type it in yourself. We introduced a bike bingo where you had to type in some codes you could find out on the bike, on the cycle routes, and then the same app and the same chip system. So the project is based so that it's the same tool, but in different national versions, meaning that the cost for software is shared among the partners, and actually the cities and the countries are able to compete against each other across whole Europe. And there's another website for that, and I know that the project is interested in having different following cities joining the project for very fair conditions. So here you see the website, you see some ranking list, and you can see how many cyclists are there and how many points and so on. And then there is a place here with a map and a picture showing the different checkpoints, so you can find where they are, and then you can decide to go in different places. Most people just go to school or go to work, and for that they get 1 bike score per day. But you can also choose to make a detour, and we see many people do that on their way home, wanting to have more points, and therefore they go on a detour to find more of these checkpoints. And then you can log in as yourself, seeing your own personal high score. You can see how good you perform per day in the ranking list. Here I'm number 1 in Europe, but I can compare to the country, I can compare to my company or my school and so on, and that's the whole point of it, to compete with the ones who are in your interest, so to say.